Oh, yeah. Five-star. LSU. I said, they ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up. Hey, 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 way down in the back.
TA, we are live. I'm not going to act like my camera just didn't crap out on me 2 seconds before
I was
the
gonna say
intro.
you gotta love those like very last second adjustments.
We're real authentic here at TA. I'm not going to act like I
Real
almost
professional.
like literally in the last second of that intro, I was able to get my camera back going. So what's up, TA? Appreciate y'all joining in tonight. Got a good show for y'all tonight. And it is officially, Zach, it is officially game week.
Let's go.
It's game week, baby. RP's already in here. What up, TA family? How everyone doing tonight? Doing fantastic, guys. It is Zeke's birthday today.
It is.
He's
We
5
gotta
years
get a
old.
Zeke showing.
Yeah, we'll have to have a Zeke appearance. He's currently in the bath, so we won't make that appearance right now.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, because streaking happens at the house sometimes. But it is Zeke's 5th birthday today, so happy birthday to Zeke. We took him to Little Rock today. Zeke, if you do not know, is obsessed with trains.
Oh my gosh.
And so we took him to Little Rock, where there's this restaurant. It's called All Aboard Restaurant and Grill. Zach, you've been there before. We found that out today.
Yeah, like when you were FaceTiming, I was like, I've been to a place like this before. And I was like, wait a second, where are you at? And you're like, Little Rock. I was like, okay, I've been to that.
Definitely been there before. They've got trains that ride around the restaurant and deliver your order to you. So of course Zeke was thrilled about that, and we also took him to this place where he could play a whole bunch of arcade games, and we go karting and putt and all that stuff. So, and his friend, one of his little friends, came along with us as well. So we took a little trip to Little Rock today, and I appreciate that, RP. September 5th. Okay, so yours coming up quick. So
in September.
Okay. Gotcha.
His kid turns 5 in September.
Gotcha. I thought you were saying yours is the 5th of September. But I see now. I got you. So we've had a great day today. We're doing great. Appreciate you asking, RP. So it's been a good day. I just got done not too long ago grilling some chicken. Zeke loves grilled chicken, so for dinner I grilled him some chicken on the grill. And mac and cheese. So it's been a fun day. We've had a lot of fun around here today. At the Lee House. And of course, yesterday was McKenna's birthday. They got back-to-back birthdays. 27th is McKenna. 28th is Zeke. Unfortunately for McKenna, she didn't turn 5 years old. She turned 24. Not too old. Not too old. But she's always older than me. And I always have that on her. I will always have that on her. So she will always be old before I will be old. Anyways, so Zach, obviously we got some stuff to discuss tonight. Hopefully here in a little bit we'll have a little Zeke showing for his birthday. Maybe we can sing him happy birthday or something here on TA.
That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think McKenna's talking to him already. Anyways, obviously we got 2 more groups to cover this week. We're gonna cover the running back group tonight. Pretty crowded group, Zach.
I did. I know the thumbnail was getting crowded.
I know, and
I still left the player out.
Like I don't even know how to make a prediction on it, but we'll discuss the running back room and its depth here in a little bit. We'll talk about the numbers that have been given out. Zach, I'm very pleased with the number giving, and we'll give our thoughts and our expressions on that as well.
Completely different direction than I thought.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
I'm good with it, though. I'm great with both selections, and we'll give our opinions on that as well. And of course, we will continue to discuss the anticipation that builds around the game that is going to happen September 3rd, this coming Sunday in Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. It will be the first, the best matchup of the week, Zach, top 10 matchup. So, yes, indeed, the anticipation builds as we are now less than a week away.
Wild, man.
I am just chomping at the bit to watch some football.
I'm ready for Thursday. Thursday, Utah, Florida, man.
I'm tuned in. There's no doubt about it. There's no question I am tuned in on Thursday.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So, guys, let's we'll discuss a little bit on the running back preview here. Zach, we did watch a little football this weekend. I don't know if we watched the Notre Dame game till it kind of got out of hand.
Just a tad.
I watched the tail end of the Vanderbilt Hawaii game. What a good game, by the way.
I missed that. Who won?
Vanderbilt won. They won by a touchdown. Hawaii had scored a touchdown with about, I think, 3 minutes to go. They had an onside kick, didn't get it. Vanderbilt got the ball, punted it, and they had no timeouts with about, I think, 2 minutes left. On the second play, Hawaii threw an interception, and Vanderbilt sealed the deal. So that's how it ended. I was honestly gearing up for like a long drive, see if Hawaii can punch it in and send it to overtime. Then it was like the second play, boom, interception. So
game over.
Game over. And that was it. They didn't have any timeouts, so they couldn't stop the clock. And Vanderbilt took victory formation and ended the game. So I watched a little bit.
USC's defense gave up a lot of points.
They did.
They did. Pretty team.
I mean, Caleb Williams did some Caleb Williams things, and their offense looks great, but their defense, looks like an Alex Grinch defense is what I was looking at. The same old thing from Mr. Alex Grinch. I'm kind of what's up, Tyler? I appreciate you joining in here. The more we move away from the coaching decision, the more I'm so glad that Scott Woodward is in control, and I'm not making the decisions, 100%. And he's the one making the decisions.
100%.
Man, I was ready, bro. When Bedlam happened and Oklahoma State beat Oklahoma, I was cheering. I was pumped because I was thinking
Lincoln Riley
was the guy, and. Then, the whole interview thing happened where he said, I'm not going to LSU. And he goes to USC. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I'm good. I watched a little bit of football, but I'm really looking forward to Thursday night, watching a really big game. And then, of course, watching this weekend when it really opens up. So, Zach, let's get into the running back room before we get too late here. Obviously, there's a lot of backs. And there's a lot of good backs in this group. I would not say, Zach, that there is a great back or an elite back. We got a lot of good running backs in this group. I think there is some potential for some of these guys to be really like great running backs. Guys like Logan Diggs, Caleb Jackson. But for the most part, I think we've got a lot of good running backs that can really take care of business. What are your initial thoughts on the running back room going into the season and like maybe how it plays out? What is it going to look like, from on the offense side of the ball? How are they going to use the running backs? Who are they going to use? What's your thoughts on it?
Gosh, I mean, it feels like with all these guys that there is the ability to obviously have every type of back that you need. If you need a guy that is just pound up the middle, go and get you a yard, you've got that. I think Noah Cain is probably that, that best option there.
Sure.
If you just need a guy that you trust a lot with ball security, pass blocking right now, that you don't have to worry about, experience or any, like a guy you just trust. Obviously, that's Josh Williams.
No doubt.
If you need somebody to go and hit a home run, that's, John Emery. If you need somebody to receive out of the backfield, that's, trade Bradford. If you need a speedster on the edge, you've got Armani Goodwin. If you need Logan Diggs, who's just an all-around great back. And the list goes on. Or
poison.
You can display some young talent, right? In Caleb Jackson and Trey Holly. You have all the essentials that you need in a running back. Now, is it all in one running back? No, it's not. It is in like what, 9 of them? Like it's
8. 8, yeah.
8 of them. Like I think it's 8 of them. I think you're right. So that's just crazy, man. I mean, I don't even know how to like break it down, honestly, Reagan. Like, because it almost feels like you're breaking down like an entire side of the football, like entire one side. Like, let's break down special teams. We'll talk about, and it's the running backs. But anyways, gosh, I don't know where we're going to see. I don't know if you're going to see like any separation, this year. Between like one guy separating himself from the pack, right? Just because of, how Frank is going to operate this unit. And we know it's, as always, it's been running back by committee. And so, we're going to see all those guys get opportunities, I feel like. Okay, we got to take a break for a second.
Yeah, let's pause on the running backs real quick, Zeke. Zeke, what's today? What's today?
I don't know.
You know what today is. What is today? Here, let me pull you up a little bit.
He's all acting shy now.
Why is Zach don't want to have those curtains?
He's got his own little background behind him. He's got stuff behind him. Hey, don't scream in the microphone. You're gonna bust somebody's eardrums out. All right, hey, what is today?
No. Zach.
He can hear you.
Yes.
Right here, look.
Zach.
Talk right there. He can hear you.
Why do you have one of those green things?
I got my own stuff. You see all the LSU stuff back there?
Yeah.
That's what I use.
Daddy don't have a spot like that in our tiny little college.
No, he just got a living room in the background. So,
we need the green screen. All right, hey, tell everybody what is today.
What's today, Zeke?
Birthday!
Yes, it's your birthday. How old are you turning? 5. Here, hold it up so everybody can see it. 5 years old. Hey, can we sing "Happy Birthday" to you on Daddy's show?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You ready, Mac?
I'm ready.
Happy birthday
to
you. Happy birthday to you. We're off. Happy birthday, dear Zeke. Happy birthday to you.
And all the TA family. From all
Happy
TA
birthday,
family.
buddy.
David Bogan, happy
that?
birthday.
Say thank you.
Look at that face. You say
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. All right, don't take the mic.
Hey, Zeke, what running back's going to get the first carry?
Say,
Josh Williams.
Okay, all right. I like
great
that.
pick. Great pick. Hey, no. We're not doing all that. We're not doing all that. No. All right. Hop down. Hey, are you ready to watch the Tigers this Sunday? No, don't grab the camera. Are you ready to watch the Tigers this Sunday?
Zeke, what do we do whenever LSU scores? What do we do when LSU scores, Zeke?
What do we do when LSU scores a touchdown? L S Go Tigers! All right, go play, buddy. I love you. All right. Well, let me get myself resituated here. That was definitely a Zeke appearance. All right. Zeke says Josh Williams going to get the first snap. Zach?
I tend to agree. We were on Blake's show earlier, and one of the viewers came on. They didn't come on, but one of the viewers commented and said that they thought that Noah Kane was going to get the first carry because of he's been in camp the entire all fall camp. He hasn't had to do an injury. Josh Williams is actually probable.
Correct.
So we may not even see Josh Williams.
Yeah.
So you said Josh Williams. I'll go Logan Diggs. Let's get.
Well, that's what Zeke said. Zeke said Josh Williams.
Okay, Zeke says Josh Williams. I'm going Logan Diggs. I'm going to go Logan Diggs. Given the, honestly, I think it really just depends on what play they're running. I mean, whatever play they're running, I think that's what's going to matter because I don't think it matters who takes the first carry. They might be going out right after the first carry.
Yeah. So here's my thought, Zach. Kind of bounce off what you were saying right before Zeke came in. I think you're absolutely right. I think it is going to be situational, and they're going to play to their strengths. As a coach, obviously, that's what you want to do. You want to put your best players in the best position to give them the best opportunities to make a great play. So there's going to be strengths for each back. There's going to be strengths for each back, and I think whatever back that is, like let's say it's catching out of the backfield. Let's say they need some pass protection. Let's say it's like an obvious passing down on third down, like it's 3rd and 8, and they're going to be throwing the ball. You're obviously going to put a guy out there who's going to block for you and does it well. You're not going to throw a guy out there who's not the best at that, in an obvious passing situation, unless maybe you're sending them out on a route. Then you're going to use the passing, the back who's the best pass in that situation. So Zach, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think it is going to totally depend on, the situation, the scheme, what are they running? What are they trying to do? And whoever does it best is who you're going to see. And I really like who we got, man. I really do. I think, I think back to when Frank Wilson, we watched a game, Zach. We were watching, was it 2011, when there was so many running backs like Michael Ford. I'm drawing a blank.
That was 2011. Michael Ford got a carry. I think Richard Murphy was in there. Spencer Ware,
right?
Hilliard.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just all the
plethora of guys. Like, and even in like 2010 was it or. No,
2007. You had Trenton Holiday, Keelan Williams, and Jacob Hester.
Yeah, so it's something that we've seen before, and it has been successful. And so I'm pretty excited about the running. Now, here's the difference, Zach. Here's the difference: is you really relied on them back then in Les Miles' offense.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, if your running backs weren't getting it done, you were kicking a field goal.
You were screwed.
Like in this offense with Brian Kelly, and finally, not finally, LSU's upgraded their offense since Les Miles has left. It's not ancient anymore. But what I'm excited about is maybe we can see some of what we saw when Frank Wilson was there and Les Miles was the coach. And it was kind of running back by committee, and it worked really well. But you apply that to this offense where we have pass catchers and a quarterback who can throw the ball really well. And, whereas usually we didn't have that. We always had pass catchers, but our offense did not play to them very well at all. So I'm pretty excited now that Frank Wilson has his group, right? He's got a plethora. Really excited to see how Frank lets this all play out. Zach, another thing that I think we need to discuss, and RP kind of hit on it a little bit here. is who's actually going to play this year. You got 8 guys. Who's actually going to play? And I think RP is absolutely right. I think Trey Holly takes a red shirt this year. I think that's the most likely thing to happen. Brian Kelly in his press conference was asked about the returners on kick and punt, and he told us that it would be Aaron Anderson for the punt returner. Aaron Anderson would be the on-ball kick returner, and Caleb Jackson would be your off-ball. And that he wanted. You say it again now.
Which I like.
Yeah. I'm glad with that. He said he wanted explosive players back there, and we saw a little bit of that explosiveness from Caleb Jackson in the scrimmage. He had the 18-yard run touchdown, and of course he had the screen pass that he took for 75 yards to the end zone, breaking multiple tackles while doing it. So with that news coming out, Zach, with knowing that Caleb Jackson is going to be on the special teams, I think you're going to see Trey Holly take a red shirt, and I think that's the best thing to do. And the rest of the guys, we need to be rotating in some way or another. Maybe some guys get more minutes than others. Maybe you really see some roles carve out, Zach. I really would love, though, for us to get to a point where we have like one guy or 2 guys that we can say, give this guy the ball and he's going to get it done. I'm okay with running back by committee, but Frank Wilson always had his dude, right? Like he always had his main guy. So I do hope to see that play out. And also, kind of what you alluded to, Zach, is we've been dealing with some injury. Like Armani's not going to play.
Nope.
He could, but he's doubtful. So I doubt he's going to play. Josh Williams is probable. So do we see him? Maybe, but maybe not as a role we're used to seeing him in. Maybe he doesn't play as many minutes this Sunday. So we really need some consistency of play and some healthy backs to really see how this plays out. So I think Sunday against Florida State, you're going to see a lot of Noah Cain and you're going to see a lot of Logan Diggs. I think that's going to be your 2 main guys this coming Sunday, Zach. But I really want to see these roles carved out, as the season goes on so that we know who we can trust in. And hopefully these guys will stay healthy so we can kind of carve those roles out.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you. I think, when you mention like who's going to kind of get left out, I do tend to agree with you there. I think, Trey Holly is probably going to take a red shirt. I think Caleb Jackson is probably going to be very limited to probably kickoff returns. Like you're probably not going to see him, taking handoffs in the backfield a whole lot as much as the other guys. And then I think guys like Trey Bradford are going to be in certain packages where they're coming out of the backfield. Like I don't think there's going to be a lot of handoffs to Trey Bradford. I think there's going to be a lot of plays for him catching the ball out of the backfield, and probably with John Emery as well. I think John Emery will be another one of those backs that receives the ball more receiving out of the backfield than getting the ball on a handoff. Guys like Logan and Noah Cain and Josh Williams, Armani, I think they're more of the guys that they're going to, actually take the handoff. So it will be interesting. I could be completely wrong on all of that because honestly, I don't think anybody really knows what is going to happen with this running back room far as
Brian Kelly even kind of said that.
Yeah, I mean, nobody really knows as far as like how this running back room is going to be carved out in their roles. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. This is a unit that, I think coming into this season, it's just kind of like, we're going to learn as you go type thing, right? It's like offensive line, you kind of know who your guys are there. Wide receivers, you kind of know who your guys are there, right? Obviously, when we get to quarterback, like Jaden's 1. Guess Nussmeier's 2. Ricky Collins is 3. Like boom, 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 boom. You know it, right? This might be kind of similar to the secondary where you're like, this might be a kind of a who steps up, who who performs more. Like,
Right.
who do you trust in certain situations? Who do you trust in certain packages? I mean, it might be similar to the secondary where you see guys come in for certain things and other guys are out. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. It's going to be something that is a see as you go type thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Maybe you can comment in there who you think is going to take the first snap. Zach, you said that
I'm gonna go Logan Diggs.
Logan Diggs is going to get the first snap. I'll say Noah Kane, just so we're different. Just so we're different. I'll throw Noah Kane out there. In terms of John Emery, Zach, that's another interesting thing because he's just now kind of getting with the team. Obviously, he went through some fall stuff, but he didn't do spring, and he was making sure he took care of business and in terms of the classroom. So
yeah,
did John come back, and is he ready to go? And
maybe some catching up to do there.
Yeah, for sure. But I got Noah Kane. I'll say Noah Kane just so we have a different option there, and maybe I can rub it in your face come after the game and say, "Ha ha, I won." No. All right, Zach. Maybe get to a few comments here, and then we'll transition into the discussion of 18-7.
Golden Boots in here with us. He said, "Is there a Lee hair swoop battle going on?"
Sheesh.
Oh my
No,
God.
I'm kidding.
I think I'm gonna take dubs in that category. As far as facial hair, Reagan, he's got it. I'll 100% give that to him. He's got the full beard. Got to be honest, I don't grow a full beard because I know my full beard would end up being like that, and I don't want a red beard. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't want a red beard. Okay,
You love it when you embrace it.
But Reagan's got me to beat on the facial hair. I'll say I got him beat on the hair swoop, and it's actually it's about due for a cut. It's going to get cut here soon before the LSU game, so it's in that kind of phase where it's starting to get a little nappy, a little long, a little out of character.
Some naps.
Yeah, but we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it. See, no. As far as
I got it. Yeah, they know. They know.
No,
they already know.
No. He's not in the lead. It's got to be me. Facial hair, 100%. I'll go to Reagan. I'm not relenting. I'm not relenting hairstyle or head hair. I'm not doing it. Can't do it. RP mentioned this with Caleb Jackson being the off-ball returner. I think Trey Holly takes a red shirt, so kind of agreeing with us there. Tyler said hopefully we don't lose Holly to the portal. And I'll say this, look, you got to think about it, Tyler. After this season, Josh Williams is gone. John Emery is gone. Noah Kane is gone. And, you might see another guy leave as well. So at least 3 for sure are leaving, right? Noah Kane, John Emery, Josh Williams. At least 3. Logan Diggs could come back. Obviously, Armani Goodwin could come back. I think we might lose one of those guys. To be honest with you, I think we lose one of the more. I think there's 4 guys that we lose from the running back room. So if you're Trey Holly, to me, I'm like, okay, let me stick around a little bit because then I'll be competing against obviously Caleb Jackson, maybe Logan Diggs, and it's a lot easier. I don't even know Trey Bradford's eligibility there. I didn't even mention Trey Bradford. I don't know if he might not be eligible.
He still has a few more years. He still got a year.
Well, I mean, he was at LSU in 2019. No, 2020.
Well, I think he redshirted one of his years. He's also got a COVID year. So
he transferred to Oklahoma, transferred back to LSU, sat another year. So anyways, we'll see what happens. Tyler said Kane come back too. Technically, yeah. I think he could. I just don't think he is. I could be wrong there. We'll see. It also depends. Like if you win a natty, some of those other guys are gonna be like, okay, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. A good way to go out. And RP agrees. He said we won't lose Trey. He's going to play next year. He can also play in 4 games with our red shirting.
Yeah.
I go Aaron Anderson on a sweep for the first one.
Oh, I like it. I'm down. I'm game.
Totally down with that. But we're talking running backs, and he's not a running back.
Just throw it out there. Just first play of the game, jet sweep to the house,
screen or something. Hey, how about a sweep to Aaron Anderson and a little pass to Malik down the sideline?
Oh Lord,
yeah,
I don't know about all that. I ain't never seen Aaron Anderson throw a football.
I ain't seen Aaron Anderson throw a football. That'd be a
giving me heart attacks right off the bat.
I mean, I have confidence in Malik getting open, and I would think that Florida would bite on that sweep because I'm sure they've been hearing out of fall camp that Aaron Anderson, we got to get him the ball, so they might bite on that sweep, and then Malik, you leave your best wide receiver open. You never know. Anyways, all right, Reagan. I think we're good to take a break. When we come back, we can discuss the numbers that were handed out this past weekend, and obviously begin to preview and look at the Florida State game. We'll be right back after this.
5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all his other music on all the major platforms. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and at Twitter at One Nation Doty. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page for all his Saints and LSU merchandise. Can't get any better than Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Her firm focuses on the needs of the elderly and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law.
Right back at it here in the Tigers Avenue. Got to discuss some special numbers that LSU gives out every single year. Zach, but before we get that, I just got to say, man, that commercial, that voice, I feel like I killed that. I ain't said that for like you ever need somebody to voice act for you, sign me up. I'll collect that check. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I'm kidding.
Reagan will do voice act. I'll do some editing.
I could do Mufasa.
You could do Mufasa.
Yeah, sign me up for
right now. Right now.
Oh,
our listeners for the podcast.
Simba. You deliberately disobeyed me. Simba.
Can you do Brian Kelly?
Oh, no, I can't do that one. Not like off the dome.
Family.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Good Lord. No, I don't think I can do stuff off the dome.
It's the process. I don't know. I can't do it.
The path.
This is the path. Graduate champions.
Just repeat things he says. Oh, shoot. All right, Zach. 18-7, obviously, are special numbers that LSU gives out every year. You know, it's always kind of like 18 is the leader, right? He's one of the leaders on the team. Great characteristics, hard worker. Mekhi Wingo gets number 18. And number 7 is typically a playmaker, one who also embodies some great characteristics within the team, a team player, and another leader, but, you know, a little bit more of a dynamic, you know, playmaker. And none other than Will Campbell will wear the number 7 patch on his jersey. Left tackle Will Campbell. Zach, I'll let you give your thoughts first, but I'm excited to discuss this a little bit. I'm curious to hear what you say about this.
Well, as you can see back there, you gotta
Big
have
7.
it.
Big
you gotta
7.
have it if you're an LSU fan. You gotta have a number 7 LSU jersey. Mine's displayed there in the shadow box.
I need to get me one. I got a 9. I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty good too. That's acceptable. I got to be honest, Reagan, it threw me for a loop because I kind of really expected Josh Williams to get 18, and I really expected probably Greg Brooks to get number 7. And it was I got to be honest, it was a little weird, you know, like a lineman getting number 7. I was like, and I think still I'm kind of like iffy about it. I'm like, I don't know if I like it or not. I really felt like Greg Brooks.
Tomato.
I kind of felt like Greg Brooks.
Tomato. No.
I think I would have preferred Greg Brooks, to be honest.
There you go. That's right.
You know, it is what it is. But I mean, Greg Brooks is a Louisiana dude. He's a Louisiana guy. He's a defensive back. I mean, who started it? Patrick Peterson. Who cemented the legacy? Tyrann Mathieu, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you think of guys that have worn it, Stingley and Grant Delpit and Steven. I mean, those are the DBs that were, really good at it. When it's been on the offensive side of the ball, outside of Leonard Fournette, it hasn't been great. DJ Chark wore it really well. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, like you had two offensive guys that wore it well, which was Leonard Fournette and DJ Chark. That's it. I mean, can you think of another offensive player that wore number 7 well?
No.
It sure wasn't Giles.
Jonathan Giles. Oh my!
It sure wasn't Jamar because he didn't even play. I mean, Jamar
would have been a good one. I wish
Jamar had the potential to be the best number 7 offensive number 7 that wore it, but he never played it. So for now, it's Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette is the best offensive number 7 that's ever worn it.
Yeah.
And I'll go as far as saying that the best defensive number 7 to wear it was Tyrann. I'll say Tyrann was better than Pat P. Do you think Tyrann was better than Pat P? Tyrann was at the finalist in New York.
No, I'm with you. I mean, in terms of like a captivating player, yeah. I mean, like explosiveness
He's more talented
and all that. I mean, whoa, easy throw. Let's take it easy throwing around way mores. I'm okay with saying more talent. Way more. Let's come on now.
Okay, not way more, but he was more talented.
No, look, I just to me though, like I will always and forever. To me, the person who embodies number 7 the most to me is Patrick Peterson, and I always will do that.
As far as like, starting the tradition of number 7, yeah. I mean, that's Pat P. But who was the best player to wear number 7?
Probably Tyrann. I think Tyrann, look, I think Patrick Peterson was very popular and, not just amongst LSU fans nationally, but I think Tyrann also got so much national attention because of the whole Honey Badger thing and of course some of the plays he made too. But no doubt Patrick Peterson and Tyrann really cemented that legacy. And you also loved the whole like passing of the torch thing because that's, Patrick Peterson talked about Tyrann being, incredible and being the next great at LSU. And of course he was. So yeah, both of those guys for sure. Just Patrick, there's something special about Patrick Peterson wearing that number 7. It really is. But Zach, I have to disagree. I have to disagree.
I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just saying I think I would have preferred Greg Brooks. I mean, I'm happy. It's you messed up. You can't do it like the G. I don't even know what to call what I'm saying. Maybe I'm wrong. Look, I'm not saying he's undeserving. I don't know. You're giving it to a lineman. Like I liked 18 going to lineman. Like I liked when Lloyd Cushenberry got 18. That was deserving. Like when you think of 7, you think of playmaker.
Are you saying Will Campbell ain't a playmaker?
When you think of playmaker, you think of an offensive position player.
He's an offensive lineman. He's
an offensive lineman. It's true. He's an offensive lineman.
He don't make good plays because he's an offensive lineman.
Maybe it's because you were a big boy in the trenches and I wasn't.
Brother, he's the left tackle, and he was a true freshman last year, and he was dang near one of the best tackles in the country as a true freshman.
I'm not disagreeing.
He's a playmaker.
About when you expect number 7, you expect it to be a skill position player.
Typically, yes,
but is a playmaker.
Typically, it's a skill position, but he went different, and here's why I like it. You have heard me, Zach. You have heard me bemoan the number 7 thing for a while now.
Yes.
I have been bemoaning. Like I've been to the point where I'm like, don't give it out. Like I'm tired of it. Like don't give it out. I was that far along to that point saying I don't even care. Don't give it out.
Are you saying
and
this
so
this changed your mind?
this changed my mind. I think Brian Kelly doing this will. I think what Brian Kelly is doing with the 18-7 thing is going to really create a lot. I think it's going to be a lot better tradition under Brian Kelly. Like, I think the guys of the past made it a tradition. Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, Jacob Hester, wearing 18. And so those guys created it. And I feel like some of the coaches, like Les Miles and Ed Orgeron, kind of fumbled the ball on capitalizing on this, like making it something worthwhile. And Brian Kelly has seemed to he doesn't miss the details, Zach. He doesn't miss the details of anything. He's very detail oriented, and he makes these jerseys, to me, seem more important than some of the other coaches in the past. That's just my opinion. Like, as of right now, I feel like Brian Kelly makes it feel like you really, really have to earn it to get number 18 or number 7. And I feel like under Brian Kelly, getting it means you really deserve it. Like, you make some explosive plays. Like, it felt like in the past, if you made some explosive plays, you were just kind of handed the jersey, number 7. And that, I feel like, is what kind of tainted the number 7 jersey, is because you were just handing it to a guy, and at times, like, those guys maybe didn't embody the best characteristics of LSU football. And, I mean, they messed around, like, and screwed up some things, or left the team early, or, whatever, didn't play very well. And the number 7 became kind of tainted. Whereas now I feel like it's going to mean more, and it's going to go to people who truly deserve it. And look, Will Campbell is going to wear it this year and next year, and Will Campbell could go down as one of LSU's greatest offensive linemen to ever come through. Like, Will Campbell is going to end up being like an Andrew Whitworth at LSU, a Will Clapp, an Ethan Posich, like an all-time. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank on the best one. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Karl Malone.
Who?
Karl.
Not Karl Malone.
Not Karl Malone. Oh gosh.
Man.
It is Karl though. I'm going blank.
I'm drawing a blank on his name. He was inducted in the NFL Hall of Fame, and I'm blanking on his name. Anyways, Will Campbell is going to go down as one of all-time great offensive linemen at LSU, and he's going to be the one wearing the LSU patch.
Oh, Kevin Mawai?
I don't know if that's the one I'm thinking of. Anyway,
Faneka?
Yes, that's who I'm thinking of. Oh,
Allen.
Yes, Allen. Yes, Allen. How do you pronounce his last name?
I want to say Karl Malone. Kevin Malone. How did I say Karl
Malone?
I know who Karl Malone is. Calm down. It's okay. For some reason had a brain fart and said,
"Oh my gosh!"
He obviously was the big man for the Utah Jazz back in the day. Played with Stockton.
That's great.
I know who Karl Malone is. It's okay. Calm down. It's all right. I just had a brain fart.
Somebody needs to clip that. Hey, Tyler, I said Whitworth. That was the first one I said. I said Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah, we did say Whitworth. Raven said Whitworth.
I did.
The first one.
I will not. Hey, Andrew Whitworth is fantastic. And also, Zach just won, NFL Man of the Year. What was it, 2 years ago or so? Shout out Andrew Whitworth. But I think Will Campbell, I love it because it's something different. We are changing the pattern. We changed the pattern of what has been kind of crappy. You break the pattern of bad play, of bad representation for the number 7. It was like several years.
I agree with you there.
There was like several years, like Stingley and
best number
Jamar.
7 recently was Grant Delpit.
Yes, and
KJ Malone.
KJ Karl Malone.
Was that an LSU?
Somebody needs to clip that. Somebody need to clip that and put it on Twitter. Who's one of the greatest LSU offensive line of all time? He's in the Pro Hall of Fame. Karl Malone.
He is in the Pro Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Just for basketball. And he didn't play for LSU.
So I like it because it's kind of breaking the chain of I feel like it's going to break the narrative of it being bad. Like it's just been bad lately.
Oh yeah, because I think now, and you are right about that. I will agree with you. Because now there's not really that expectation, right?
Sure.
I mean, Will Campbell is just going to do what he does, right? And that's pass block really well. There's not an expectation of, okay, he's got to make a play. Like he's wearing number 7. He's got to make a play, right? He's got to be that dog.
Well, he better be making plays. He better be making plays.
He's got to have an interception. He's, I mean, it's Greg Brooks, you're like, okay, he's got to have some forced turnovers. He's got to have, interceptions and be in the running for the Thorpe Award. And, if it's, goes to like Malik Neighbors, like you're like,
Here,
he's got to be up in, for the Blitnikoff, and he's got to have 1,000+ yards receiving and, 20 something touchdowns. And
here's my thing, Zach, is like, if you wanted to give it to like the best number 7 option, you would have handed it to Harold Perkins.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's next year.
But
maybe
if they would have done that,
next year.
Maybe they'll change it every year. Maybe so. But do you take a jersey away from the guy like Will Campbell? Like, because Will Campbell's going to be there one more year. Maybe. I mean, I don't think that'll be any strife or anything. But, anyways, man, if they would have handed that jersey to Harold Perkins, I would have died. I'd have been like,
you're
no,
like,
no, absolutely not. No, like, take it away now. Like, he's going to tear his ACL first game. Don't give him 7. Like, anyway,
he's going to tear his ACL walking out of the locker room.
Look at my jersey, guys. Snap. Anyways, like I would have been, if you want to give it to the true, I mean, you want to give it to nobody, in terms of what we've seen in the past, nobody embodies that number 7 in terms of, like Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, than like Harold Perkins. Yeah. And look, he's the same age as Will Campbell, so maybe you should have given it to Harold Perkins. I would have loved to have seen it go to Greg Brooks too, Zach. When you said Greg Brooks,
like, that's the one, bro.
I was really good with that. But I just really didn't know who they were going to give it to. And of course, like I said, I've been bemoaning it, so I didn't really care. But this was cool. I like it. I like it. It's something different. Let's he's a playmaker and he embodies what Brian Kelly expects in this program. So I'm okay with it.
18,
Mekhi Wingo. I think he's very deserving.
100%. I had said Josh Williams because of the story, and because of him staying with the program for such a long time. Obviously, it's going to be his last year, but I love the idea of giving it to Mekhi Wingo.
Yeah.
Because Mekhi Wingo has worked his tail off. I mean, he won didn't he win the Iron Tiger? Was it last year?
Won the Iron Tiger last year.
Yep. Won the Iron Tiger last year. Played the most snaps of any defensive tackle in the country last year, and held it down. And not only held it down, but he excelled.
Sacrificed his body. I mean,
yeah, for real. I mean, and he's also, I think, he's not. I mean, I think he's a leader for this team. I do.
Oh, no doubt.
When you look at Harold, like Harold is the best player, but he's not. I don't think he's a whole lot of a vocal leader, right? I feel like guys like Major Burns. I think like Mekhi Wingo. I think guys like that, like they're more vocal leaders. And Mekhi's an older guy. Obviously has played a ton, plenty of experience in the SEC, and it's probably his last year. So I mean, I think it is because he's out of eligibility after this year, right?
Who's this? So. Greg Brooks?
No, Mekhi Wingo.
No, Mekhi Wingo has got more years. He was a true freshman at Missouri, then transferred to LSU. So if he wants to come back for
he's a true junior?
He's a true junior. Correct.
So he could potentially come back next year and wear it again. But I mean, I think typically when you give 18 away, it's usually you'll usually have it 1 year. I don't know if it's usually your last.
I
year.
think
don't know.
Foster had it 2 years, and I think
Does Foster have it 2 years?
yeah, I think
He
so.
might have. I think you might be correct. But either way, regardless, I don't disagree with it at all. It's kind of not like 7 where I'm kind of iffy about it. Like I'm totally cool with it, even though it's not Josh Williams like I predicted. I'm totally fine with that. I think I'm excited to see 18. I like seeing 18 on the defensive line. I really do. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I was checking real quick, Zach. He is a true junior. So yeah.
Okay. I think, and I think most of the time, I think I also like 18 on the defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah.
Because usually, like on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, there hasn't been many guys that have worn 18 on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, it's usually tight end. It's usually a tight end or like maybe a running back.
Foster Morrow is all I can think of.
I mean, Foster Morrow. I mean, gosh, who wore it as a running back? There was running backs that wore it too.
It was Hester.
Terrence McGee. I think Terrence McGee wore it.
So yeah.
I think he wore it the 18. Richard Murphy wore it.
Somebody on the offensive side of the ball. It was.
I mean, Jacob Hester is the best number.
Wore it.
Jacob Hester is, the founder of the 18, pretty much. I mean, Matt Mock
kind of there too.
Started a little bit. It's kind of same with 7. Like 7, Pat Peake started it, and Tyron cemented it. Matt Mock started 18, and Jacob Hester cemented it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but I like it. I think Mekhi Wingo is due for another great season. You can tell how much Mekhi Wingo means to Brian Kelly just from the things that he says about him.
Yeah.
Just in like little small, videos that LSU will release on Twitter and interviews and stuff like that. And you can tell how much he means to this team. So 100% agree with who got 18.
Yeah, no doubt. I always think that 18, like I feel like 18 hits every year. I feel like it hits every year. I don't think there's been a miss on 18 because like we've said, the expectation isn't quite there with 18. You have an expectation to be a great character and leader on the team, and I think nobody, maybe besides Josh Williams, embodies that better than Mekhi. Just because of what he did last year. He worked his tail off last year.
Yeah,
came in as a transfer. Mason Smith goes down. Depth is lacking incredibly. And so you've got to go out there and you got to play your tail off, and you got to do it for a long time and a lot longer than anybody else did, in the country last year. Yeah. Literally the most snaps defensively in the country. So I think Mekhi, is that guy. And of course, like you said, he won the Iron Tiger, which means he's doing stuff off the field he needs to take care of himself. He's taking care of business in the weight room. He's getting his body right. So I think it's an excellent pick. And after what he did last season, I have no problems with that at all. And seeing that 18 in the center of that. Oh, Benny Logan wore it too. That was another one.
He did.
That'll remind me a lot of Benny Logan, of when he's wearing 18 down there in the middle.
I thought the same thing whenever it was announced. I was like, oh, okay, Benny Logan.
Yeah. So
Benny Logan wore it in 2011, I think, as well. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it was 2012. One of those 2 years.
But I will really I like seeing that big dude in the trench with 18 on. That'll be cool.
Like, can you imagine if Tyler Shelvin had, or not Tyler Shelvin, Glenn Dorsey had worn it? I know obviously Jacob Hester wore it back then, but it'd been pretty cool to see on the other side of the ball another 18, and it was.
Could you imagine Glenn Dorsey wearing 7? That'd be so lit.
That'd be lit. I think I can get with that.
I hate that the offensive lineman can't wear it. I would love to see Will Campbell wearing a 7 on the left tackle. That would be
that'd be insane.
Because then the number sticks out even more. It sticks out even more because you'll have 50 and 69 and Charles Turner, and 50 is Emory Jones, and what was it? Is 70 some 70 is Miles
70 is
Frazier,
Miles Frazier.
72 Dellinger, like, and then you got 7.
7.
Like I would love
50, 50, 72, 69,
69.
77.
Yeah, that would be I'd be so down for that. But anyways,
Yeah.
he'll have the patch, so I'm excited for the 18 and 7 this year. I think it's great picks. Without question, Zach, I don't think we're gonna have like a bust. So that's my thing. That's why
true,
I'm okay
yeah.
with both of them. I think both of them are going to be solid. Like, you're not going to have a disappointment in either of them.
Yeah,
and I think
agree.
that's what I want out of it. That's what I want out of it every time, is not just an absolute bust.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I'm okay with the Will Campbell pick, because I think it's a really good pick in terms of it not being a repeat of what we've seen. So, All right, Zach, let's talk about, we got a couple minutes left. Let's talk about the anticipation that is continuing to build. Maybe let's talk about, Zach, maybe a little bit. Obviously, we'll do a little. We'll give you a preview, a real good preview this coming
Next.
Friday. But let's talk about Florida State for a minute, Zach. Let's talk about Florida State for a minute. What concerns do you have as an LSU fan looking at the Florida State roster? Like, what concerns you?
I think 100% it has to be the passing game.
Okay.
100%. Because with LSU fans, our biggest worry
Trey
is
White. That was a good one. That was a really good one. Trey White. RP threw in the Trey. My bad.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Trey White was a phenomenal one. The passing attack of Florida with LSU's concerns in secondary is very concerning to me, because they have two, as you mentioned, whenever we were doing our receivers preview in the last episode, they have 2 number 1 receivers in Keon Coleman and Wilson. So, and then they have a phenomenal quarterback. So you're gonna have to get pressure on Jordan Travis. If you do not get pressure on Jordan Travis, it is going to be, in my opinion, a long day for the LSU secondary. You have to generate pressure. You have to get him down. You have to contain him. I mean, it's going to have to be a Harold Perkins absolute, and a defensive line like Savion Jones, Harold Perkins, Mekhi Wingo.
Yes.
It's going to Jacoby and Giller, it's going to have to be a complete takeover of the defensive line and the pass rush in that game. And also, for me, I also would want to see, I got to see how their offensive line stacks up against that defensive line of ours, because to be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about their offensive line, but from what I've heard, it's not elite. Like, it's not an elite offensive line. From what I've heard, our defensive line should have the advantage against their offensive line. Now, obviously, not having Mason Smith took a hit, but LSU held their own, I think, and last year against that offensive line, and I think they're going to have a slight advantage against that offensive line this year. So, for me, the biggest concern for sure is their passing attack against our secondary.
Yeah.
As far as our offense versus their defense goes, I don't really know if I have a concern. I mean, if I have a concern, it's, I don't even know if I was going to go to the offensive line. Just the offensive line struggled last year, but I feel like the offensive line.
That's what I was about to say. It's a lot better. It's a lot better
this year. I feel like it's going to be
shuffling guys.
Yeah, I feel like
Emory Jones wasn't even playing in this game. Emory Jones didn't even play in this game last year. Maybe a couple snaps, but 2 massive
impact players that you had last year that didn't play this game. Harold Perkins, Emory Jones. I mean, Mason Taylor, obviously had a big play near the end of the game, but for most of the game, he didn't have the impact that he did as the year progressed last year, and he had major impacts in the game. So, I don't know. I'm not worried about our offense versus their defense. It's definitely going to be our defense versus their offense is where I'm concerned, and that secondary and our secondary versus Jordan Travis and that group of wide receivers.
Yeah, you know what? Your point was, we really need to make sure we're getting some pressure so that the secondary isn't getting eaten alive out there. Something Brian Kelly said today in his press conference, his Monday morning press conference, that really got me excited. That really got me excited. We've been hearing Perkins is, he's in the middle of the field now. He's that's his role, and people were concerned about him not having as much as an impact and whatever it so is. But Brian Kelly made it very clear today that it's not like Harold Perkins is going to be just stagnant, staying in that one position all the time. He said, and I quote, he will have to be accounted for every play by the other team because he's going to be moving around a lot. They want it to be as if, they want to use Harold Perkins in a way that, like, every time the offense comes to, the line of scrimmage and the quarterback
where's 4?
Defense, they're looking for number 4. He wants them having to look and see what he is doing every play. And so when Brian Kelly kind of made it known that he's not going to be stagnant, we're going to move him around and we're going to use him in different ways, and so that we're keeping the offense on their toes. I really, really liked hearing that.
Yeah.
I think, man, I would love to see us just throw the house at Jordan Travis. Just get him off his game, man. Just show some stunt blitzes and, you can even use Harold Perkins now because he is such a – everybody knows about Harold Perkins. Nationally, everybody knows about Harold Perkins. So you can bait them with Harold Perkins now. You can show a fake blitz with Harold Perkins and then send the corner off the end. And they're going to bite on Harold Perkins on blitz and then miss a guy. You're going to be able to do things like that because of how captivating 4 is. And then there's going to be times when you're going to let him loose and move him around, and he's going to make plays because he's just that good. And so I'm really excited to see, man.
Let's not forget about the plays.
Matt House.
Some of the plays that Greg Brooks made in the backfield.
Correct. And that's my point. That's my point is you could see, I could totally see them showing pressure with Perkins and then sending Brooks from on a delayed blitz somewhere else.
Do we remember the Tennessee game where Greg Brooks absolutely just plastered Hendon Hooker?
Yes. Those are the types of things that I think they're going to be able to do this year just because of how captivating Harold Perkins is. Yeah. And I think Harold Perkins is just going to get
I have confidence in our front seven, and I have good confidence in our safety, man, but it's the other secondaries that
it's going to be your one-on-one matchups on the outside. How is that going to play out? And the safeties are going to have to help. They're just going to have to help. Brian Kelly also made it known today that Sage Ryan, he's good to go. He's healthy, 100%,
which is great to hear.
Which is awesome to hear after what happened in the scrimmage. But that he said that Sage Ryan's going to be more versatile. So we saw him at the DB position in the scrimmage with Zai, but he also said, Sage is going to play in different places. He can play in the nickel. He can play the DB. So we're probably going to see Sage and Deuce, move around. Andre Sam move around and try things out. And, I really trust Matt House to do what he does with this defense, because last year he did a phenomenal job of adjusting and making, halftime. Everybody talked about his halftime adjustments last year, and he was fantastic last year about coming into the locker room and saying, hey guys, this is what I'm seeing. This is what's happening. Here's what we're going to do. Go out there, and they execute. And our defense was so solid last year in the second half of games. So I think we have a good enough defensive back to win, group to win games. Do I think it's going to be the best? No. Do I think it's DBU? No. But I think it's good enough to win games. And I think they get in there, they get comfortable, maybe carve out some roles and some guys solidify themselves. I think we're going to be okay. It's just so long as we're getting pressure and we're creating havoc with guys like Harold Perkins, and our defensive line really needs to create that havoc themselves too. I I really like what we can do defensively. But you're right. I mean, that's really your main concern is what is your DBs going to do against Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson? Everybody in terms of the offense and defense, like LSU's offense and Florida State's defense, the spot I think everybody's going to want to look at is the offensive line against Florida State's defensive line because they brought in Braden Fisk from Western Michigan, who's really good defensive tackle. He's going to be in the mix. And, of course, a guy who was projected to be a first-round pick last year in Jared Verse. I mean, he's their Harold Perkins. He may not be. So, I mean, we're going to have to be looking for him, right?
Yeah.
And making sure we're taking care of him. I like where our offensive line is a lot better last year at this point to this year. It's far better. You know who your guys are. They have there's so much continuity on the offensive line this year. I think it's going to be one of the strengths of this team, and so therefore, I don't like they're going to give up sacks because sacks happen throughout the season, but by and large, I think this is going to be a strength of the team, and I think that's going to be true come Sunday. So, we'll see how the rest plays out, but. I don't know. Like kind of you said, our offense, I think they're going to be able to score some points. I think Florida State's going to have to try and keep up with us, honestly.
Yeah. I think like 35, like if you have 35 points or more, you feel really good.
Yeah. People are calling this game to be close, and I really do think it could be a super close game. But at the same time, I really could see it like LSU kind of running with it. I really do. I think I think it would be. I'm not saying that's going to happen. In fact, I would more so say it's going to be a battle, no doubt. But I will say I will not be surprised if LSU wins this game by like 10 points or 14 points. I wouldn't be surprised.
I would love it. And something that they mentioned on Blake's show tonight, which I kind of agreed with. If LSU goes out and they have a game where they win by, not like a blowout, but like they win by a decent margin, and Jaden has, 3 touchdowns, 300 plus yards.
Right.
He scrambles for, near 100 or close. Like,
right.
You're talking like he becomes the Heisman favorite after week 1.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't see why not. They
mentioned that tonight. I was like, that's a really good point. That's a really good point that they made.
Oh, he's definitely going to, I mean, him and Caleb Williams right now are the top 2 guys.
They're going to go back and forth probably this year.
If that happens, that margin's going to get real thin for Caleb and him. So, all right, Zach, we're a little bit past time. That's okay though. Let's hit one more final break, and then we'll come back after this and wrap things up.
Make sure you go follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Tigers Avenue. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to click off and hit that subscribe button at Tigers Avenue. We broadcast all of our shows live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
To Facebook and X.
I guess you saw I changed the logo.
I did. Looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good. Gotta update it because
I guess we do. Yeah, Mr. I can do Mufasa voice,
Need to update that, I guess.
Need you to send me an updated version.
Is it called X or is it still Twitter, but that's the new?
Listen, I'm calling it Twitter. I'll change the logo. I'll change the logo, but I'm calling it Twitter.
Yeah.
We're just going to leave it.
I'm down with you. All right, guys. It's been a great show. Appreciate you guys hopping in here and giving your input. Y'all been fantastic tonight, as always.
Less than a week.
Guys.
Less than a week, baby.
We got one more show before game day. One more show. We're going to cover quarterback's final position. We're going to give you a preview. And also, Zach, don't you have something to share a little bit? Just real quick before.
Yes, big announcement. No, not really a surprise, but big announcement because today today I started work on the 2023 LSU football hype video.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's actually what I'll be doing after, as soon as we get off here, editing the show. After that,
there it is.
go. And then, editing the show, and then after that, it's going to be getting to work for the rest of the night on the hype video.
So, hey, when you see it on Twitter, start reposting it, start resharing it, because we know these TA hype videos. They
hit.
I mean, they be hitting good.
They be hitting good.
They be hitting, mate. So, and we know they be getting attention too. So, I mean, we know last time it happened, Jay Johnson hit it. So maybe we can get BK to get a little retweet, Zach. Maybe so.
That'd be pretty
lit.
sweet.
That'd be lit. Yeah.
You know, it was cool to get a retweet and Jay Johnson in our DMs. It'd be pretty cool to have a retweet and Brian Kelly in the DMs.
For sure. All right, guys. Y'all be on the lookout for that. Be sure to retweet it and quote tweet it, whatever you want to do, so we can get as many people going on that when it drops. So we want everybody to get hyped for this game. We're looking forward to it. We'll see you this Friday. To preview this coming Sunday, LSU versus Florida State in Orlando, Florida. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you next time here in the Tigers Avenue. 5 Star here. Take us out. Peace.